Good afternoon, boys and girls. My name is Mrs. Stacy Byrne. I'm a member of the Hamilton Board, and I'm honored to read to you today. The first book that we're going to read is The Horse in Harry's Room by Syd Hoff. Harry had a horse in his room, and nobody knew. He could ride him in a circle without knocking over the chair or the dresser. He could jump him over the bed without hitting his head on the ceiling. "Oh, it's great to have a horse," said Harry. "I hope I will always have him. I hope he will always stay." His mother looked into Harry's room to see what he was doing, and she did not see the horse. His father looked into Harry's room to see what he was doing, and he did not see the horse. "Giddy up," they heard him say when he wanted his horse to go. "Whoa," they heard him say when he wanted his horse to stop. But they did not see a horse in Harry's room. "Let's take Harry to the country," said Father. "Let's show him some real horses." Harry did not care if he ever went to the country. He had his own horse in his room. Every night when Harry went to sleep, he knew his horse would stay and watch over him. Every day when Harry went to school, he knew his horse would wait for him to come home. One day the teacher said, "Let us all tell about something today." One girl told about a dress she wore to a party. One boy told about a glove he used for baseball. "I have a horse in my room," said Harry. "I can ride him in a circle without knocking over the chair or the dresser. I can jump him over the bed without hitting my head on the ceiling." The children laughed. "Sometimes thinking about a thing is the same as having it," said the teacher. It was Sunday. Harry's mother and father took him for a drive. They rode out of the city, far out into the country. Harry saw cows and chickens and green grass, and he saw horses. "Look at the horses, Harry," said Mother. Harry saw horses running. Harry saw horses kicking. Harry saw horses nibbling. "Horses should always be free to run and kick and nibble," said Father. When they got home, Harry ran right to his room. "Horses should always be free to run and kick and nibble," Harry said to his horse. "If you want to go, you may go." Harry's horse looked to the right. Harry's horse looked to the left. Then he stayed right where he was. Huh? "Oh, I'm glad," said Harry, and he knew he would have his horse as long as he wanted him. It's a childhood favorite. And we have another one. I think some of you may have seen this or heard this before. Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. Okay. Let's see. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind. And another. His mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up." And so he was sent to bed without eating anything. Oh, Max. That very night in Max's room, a forest grew. And grew. And grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through the night and day. And in and out of weeks and almost over a year to where the wild things are. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, They roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. Oh my. Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with the magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once, and they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. They're pretty wild. And made him king of all wild things. And now, cried Max, let the wild rumpus start. Oh my. More pictures. And more pictures. And more pictures. Now stop, Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then all around him, from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said, "No." The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws, but Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. Goodbye. And sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day and into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. The end. Oh, and it was still hot. And that's the end.